want you to show me how to get to know.
So I'm making my way up to the old town of Krakow, and well, I've never been to Krakow before. I lived in Poland for a year. I lived in the north of Poland on the Baltic coast, which was fabulous. It was a long time ago. And I never came to Krakow. I went to lots of other cities in Poland and in Hungary and you name it, all around. But I never came to Krakow, which is a shame. Because as I knew, they're over there, behind there, is a Wawel castle, I think. We'll look at that later. But I've got two objectives today. Well, three, more or less. One is, first one is to get some breakfast and some coffee. And then after, I'm going to go around, have a look at the old town. It'll be quite a whistle-stop tour because I'm only here for a very short weekend. And then I'm going to the salt mine. That would be something. And after the salt mine, I want to go around I think it's called Kazimierz or something like this, the Jewish quarter as well, which is apparently something to see in Krakow. As probably know, the one in Warsaw was completely obliterated and flattened. In fact, Warsaw is just made up of buildings from the communist era. It was totally flattened. So this is quite nice. They have rebuilt stuff, but here it's not rebuilt, it's all original. So let's go and have a look at what they call the biggest square in Europe. It looks like they're just about taking down the Christmas decorations. It's the 4th of February. Here's two Polish Jack Russells. What a cool sign. Kawa, coffee, herbata, tea, drinky. I'll let you work that one out. So it's a church and everybody seems to be going to church. Not everybody, but lots of people going to church on this Sunday morning. It looks like the little bridges between the colleges, although it's often the bridges that go in from the church to where the priests or the whatever lived. I'm not sure what that is.
It's terrifying.
I think this is actually the part of the old city walls, and this could be the Barbican gate. Oh, I'm so uninformed. I'll have to see if I can get a guide later, maybe, to actually stop talking rubbish. But it looks really, really nice and old. Probably been rebuilt a little bit, but why not? And there's a medieval Costa coffee over there. I must say, these buildings are absolutely beautiful. And dare I say, very Polish. And there's the St. Mary's Basilica down there. This car coming. I'll move out of the way. And I guess this is actually the Barbican gate. And the city's old defensive walls. I imagine it looks like a Barbican tower to me. Okay, so second time lucky, I was right. It was the Barbican gate, and there's 3 towers that remain of the 15th century defensive walls. And there they are down there. This is the park that sort of surrounds the old town. And this is called the defence route, but I guess the defence route is actually one of the walking tours. There's loads of walking tours here. Free tours, paid tours, whatever. The free tours are, well, they're free, and you give the tip that you think it's worth, which is quite good, because I did one of these in Granada and it was very good. And you probably end up paying more than you would for a normal one, but you know, if you get good value, why not? The name of this gate, this Barbican gate, is called St. Florian's Tower. As I said, 15th century. That looked like, I didn't want to say too much while I was there because there was a nun praying by it, but it looks like the Black Madonna of Częstochowa, because it was a Black Madonna. Okay, we're in Krakow, but I know there's one in Częstochowa in Poland. So now we're going to go back to the old town. I'm going to look for, if I can find it, an old cafe which is dead famous. This is a statue to Jan Matejko, who was a 19th century and the most eminent representative of Polish historical painting. See these little kiosks of obwazianek everywhere. Dzień dobry. Everywhere in Krakow, on the square, everywhere, these little kiosks that sell these. Apparently there's 150,000 of these baked every day. And we're used to seeing French patisseries. Let's go look at a Polish bakery. Pączkarnia. And these look like pączki, maybe. But there they are. Oh, the lights are terrible in there. I can see that it's going everywhere. But anyway, you get the idea. Pierogarnia. It's where they make the famous Polish dumplings called pierogi. Pierogi is, as we probably know, a canoe. It's in a canoe shape. Up here is a cannabis shop, and there's a coffin there. Ah, okay, it's the Lost Souls bar. There's all blood in front of it. Is that a setup or is it from last night? Saturday night in Krakow. There we are. St. Mary's Basilica from the other side.
Losing game, it's a losing game. But this time it's more than another love war. This ain't the same, this ain't the same. They say love heals all, it makes it all alright. In time, my heart still feels the breaking, but you make my world so bright. It feels so right, it feels so right. And how will we ever feel that what we've got is real? There's no denying, there's no denying. And how will we ever see if we are meant to be? It's terrifying, it's terrifying. And how will we ever know if the love will ever grow without trying, without trying?
That church, St. Mary's, was absolutely amazing inside. It just felt like I shouldn't have been filming in that. Just took a couple of little films, but it's full of people praying, so not really the place to be filming. I don't think it didn't feel very appropriate. So I've come out. As beautiful as it was. There you go. And this is St. Barbara's Church, which is right next to the St. Mary's. And apparently up until the 19th century, this was the cemetery chapel. So St. Mary's, which is a basilica, was built in the 14th century on the foundations of a later temple, an earlier temple. And from one of the towers, apparently every hour, there's a bugle call that rings out. Listen out for that one.
How will we ever see if we are meant to be? It's terrifying, it's terrifying.
So that place in the middle where we went to earlier, with all the stalls and the shields of all the Polish towns, is actually the cloth market. And apparently it started in the 15th century. And there's the bugle call, once every hour from the top of the tower. There's a history behind that as well. And he's waving, the bugler. Hello. Hello. Another Basilica. trójki.
We're meant to be.
This bar, the vis-a-vis, is apparently an artist's bar, painters, actors, etc., and is known to be the cheapest beer in Krakow. Already it's not very expensive, but apparently it's the cheapest. What do you think, sir? Can you give us a bit of a comment on the price of beer here? Is it good? Probably is. We're in Poland. I've just asked some guys who are taking down the Christmas decorations, and nobody knows it. But it's funny, I was asking for a place yesterday from somebody, in fact in the hotel, who lives in Krakow, and it was just down the road and they didn't even know either.
We're meant to be. That we're meant to be. We're meant to be.
I just found somebody on the stall and she's directed me to Novorolski. Let's hope it's worth it. So if the lady was right in the kiosk there, I've passed Novorolski about 3 or 4 times without noticing it, which is possible. We all do that, don't we? We're looking everywhere and we see nothing. But let's go and have a look. I don't know if it's that exceptional either, but we'll see. I finally found the cafe Novorolski. And Novorolski dates from 1910, and amongst its famous visitors was Lenin has been here and had a coffee or something. And it was also during the Nazi occupation of Poland and Krakow a favourite with the Nazi officers. There you go. Cafe Novorolski. I've been turning and trying to find it for like ages, and it says there 1910. So for once I've been accurate, I think. So I found this restaurant, and what I was looking for was kielbasa. And in fact, this restaurant has kielbasa. Kielbasa is a Polish sausage, and this is even better because it's got a selection of kielbasa. So I'm quite happy about that. The other thing that I'm happy about is that there's only Polish people in this restaurant, which is a good sign, and also good Polish beer. So we'll have a look at the kielbasa when it arrives. It sounds good, but there's no but, is there? So this is it. This is called a Polski dish, and it is kielbasa, white kielbasa, black pudding, and what's it called? Horseradish, that's it, and mustard. There you go, with pickles. Enjoy. So the update on the meal is the kielbasa was fabulous, both of them, but black pudding, maybe I'm a bit weird about that, but the only black pudding really is from north of England, and I'm not from north of England, but that's the best one. That one was pretty tasteless, but the rest of it was nice. The beer was nice, and I'm going to go for a beer now in the bar that we passed this morning, which is called I don't know what it is called now, but anyway, I'm going there. It's an artist's place. Maybe I won't feel at home, but there you go. If it was a budding artist's place, or a weird artist's place, or a bad artist's place, I'd be at home. But let's go and have a look anyway. Apparently it's got the best and cheapest beer in Krakow, so let's have a look at that now. Today we're trying to find the Jewish quarter, which is Kazimierz, and this looks like it could be because it's right next to a real synagogue, but I'm looking for the old one, which I think will be closed, but we're not allowed to go in anyway. This looks like a synagogue. Don't know whether it's in use. Right in the Jewish quarter. But we should be now in the heart of Kazimierz, which is the old Jewish quarter, which was at one point the Jewish ghetto in Krakow. Let's discover. This is a massive church or basilica in the Jewish quarter in Krakow. So in this church there's a devotion of Saint Rita, which is patroness of difficult and impossible cases. So this big church, and just in the background there, where you can see it, just over that bridge, is, I think, the synagogue. As we're getting closer, I can see that actually it's not a synagogue, but it's a church. It's got crosses on the top. So that was wrong. I wonder where I'm going now. I don't know if it's a dead end or what. I'm heading to the old synagogue. Maybe in the wrong way, but anyway, let's discover. Soaking wet, not to worry. We'll want a coffee as well. Just near this big church. I'll find out what it's called in a second. It's actually called Basilica Monastery. It's in most places in Poland. There's a statue of Jean Paul II, the ex-pope, who came from Krakow, in fact. This is the monastery. Apparently it's 550 years old, but there's been people on this site, as I said earlier, for 4,000 years, and because there's a spring here. There you go. Anyway, I need to get back to the Jewish quarter, because this is clearly not a synagogue. There's lots of coffee shops. There's a delicatessen over there. I think I'll go for a coffee, but I seem to be off the track again. So I'll get back on the track, then I'll decide for a coffee. There you go, decisions. So this is the mighty Vistula River, or Vistwa, po polsku. So once again, I'm lost. So I have to reroute and go back down to the Jewish quarter. It's such a horrible rainy day that even the pigeons are sheltering under the car. You can see them on my left there. So anyway, I'm still lost, but I'm getting off to the Jewish quarter again. I think it's down here. Guess I could be coming close because there's the Judah food market. Let's see. Must be getting close because there's some Hebrew on the window of the bookshop. Update on the weather. It's still throwing it down, soaking wet, and it's windy now. Brilliant. I must be in the right place because there's some Hebrew graffiti, and I see the Star of David on the railings here. Anyway, let's carry on and get wet and discover. It says that the old Jewish cemetery is down here somewhere. So I'll have a quick look down there. And here is the place, just in here, we can't go in, there's a bookshop now, but it's written in Hebrew, is the Popper Synagogue, which was founded in 1620. But I'm not sure we can visit, everything looks closed anyway. It's Monday, maybe that's what it is. This is a place of meditation upon the martyrdom of 65,000 Polish citizens of Jewish nationality from Krakow and its environs, killed by the night. 65,000, wow. And I think over there is a Jewish cemetery. Let's go and have a look. This is the synagogue Remu, which dates from 1558. Always sad places to come to, these are. And there's lots of plaques here to mostly people killed during the Holocaust. is inside the synagogue. It's very small. This, just beside the synagogue, is the Jewish cemetery. It's not a very happy place, obviously, and the rain makes it look even less so. Krakow in the rain. I'm soaking wet now, so I might as well keep going. I'm going to Heroes of the Ghetto Square, and that's my last thing I think today, apart from the coffee and get to the airport.